Namaskar and a very good morning. Welcome to the audio cast from Kotak Securities. I'm your host and guide, Anindya Bannerjee. आज एशियन इक्विटी मार्केट्स में रैली है, बट एट द सेम टाइम डॉलर इंडेक्स इज ट्रेडिंग फर्म एंड जिसकी वजह से डॉलर रुपी में एक्चुअली ओपन स्लाइटली हायर टू फ्लैट. तो 79, 35 और 37 के बीच ओपनिंग हो सकता है इन द अगस्त 26 फ्यूचर्स और अगस्त एंड फ्यूचर्स. Now, why are we seeing an uptick in the US dollar index? The reason can be that कल जो Fed policy makers का statements था, that were unequivocally hawkish, and because they were unequivocally hawkish, that helped the dollar to climb against the major currencies. बट इक्विटी मार्केट में रिस्क ऑन की वजह से और रैली के वजह से उतना इम्पैक्ट आ नहीं रहा है. एंड देयर इज वन मोर पॉजिटिव न्यूज़ फॉर द इंडियन रुपी. द ऑयल प्राइसेस आर डाउन. ब्रेंट इज नाउ एट 97. तो अगर ब्रेंट में ब्रेक डाउन होता है क्योंकि बार बार ये 96, 97 के आसपास आते ही इट बाउंसेस बैक. इफ इट नाउ ब्रेक्स डाउन देन एंड इट स्टार्ट्स टू मूव बिलो 90, then it can be a positive factor for the Indian rupee. But that's something we need to watch because it's yet to break down. But lower oil prices is positive for the rupee. Higher dollar index is negative for the rupee. And a slightly positive equity markets is slightly positive for the rupee. So all in all, ये हो सकता है कि USDINR may slip into a range. But at the same time, one thing is clear, based on the price action over the past 2 days, कि 79 के नीचे it will be difficult for the August futures to stick, which means 78, 80, 85 levels on the spot. क्योंकि जब लॉन्ग लिक्विडेशन था, एक पैनिक लिक्विडेशन था, तब डॉलर रुपी हैड फॉलन below 78, 80, 85 support level on the spot. But once that liquidation was over, we saw a very quick recovery. So it seems that 79 on the futures and 78, 80 on the spot is probably the near-term bottom for this currency, unless there is a massive weakness in the dollar index as we speak. So based on where the global markets are, or of course we'll also keep an eye on oil prices as we said. So unless there is a dramatic weakness in the oil prices and weakness in the dollar index, we think the 70, 80, 85 on the spot and 79 aroundish, maybe 78, 90 at best will be the near-term bottom on the USDINR spot and futures. So one can buy the pullbacks. Yes, कल जो RBI का monetary policy meeting होने वाला है, that's going to have an impact. But generally what we have seen is that RBI monetary policy doesn't impact the USDINR for long, unless RBI is doing something which is completely unexpected. जो मई में हुआ था, when RBI came out of policy and hike rates, that led to an appreciation in the Indian rupee and then a depreciation, right? So when it's completely unexpected, the entire move hawkish or dovish, then the impact is much larger and lasting. But when it's more or less anticipated, a tweak in the, whether it's 35 bips or 50 bips, whether the language is slightly hawkish or neutral, those things really don't have a lasting impact on the Indian rupee. It may have a lasting impact on the bond market, but not the Indian rupee. So I wouldn't say the RBI policy is such a big thing for the USDINR. So one can look to buy the dips closer to 79 on the futures with a stop loss below. So one can use even call spreads to express that view, or futures. So as long as the USDINR August futures is not closing below 79, one can be long in the market. 79.60 and 79.80. These are the resistance levels on the futures. So again, the bias is slightly upward, but pace of movement can be slow. अगर हम लोगों को ये दिखता है कि the dollar rupee is slipping into a range, then we will obviously issue short options as trading calls. But as of now, we'd like to wait and watch, and accordingly we would issue the trades on the short options. क्रॉस करेंसीज में GBP विल बी इन फोकस, क्योंकि 4:30 बैंक ऑफ इंग्लैंड का पॉलिसी मीटिंग है और वहाँ पे BOE इज एक्सपेक्टेड टू हाइक बाई 50 basis point, एंड इफ दे एट ऑल डू दैट देन इट्स गोइंग टू बी द फास्टेस्ट हाइक सिंस 1995. बट एट द सेम टाइम इट्स जस्ट नॉट द हाइक विच इज important. Their future outlook, their outlook is equally important, because since the start of this year Bank of England has been hiking at 25 bips, but they have been always sounding very, very cautious, because they have been warning that the economy can slip into a full-blown recession beginning of next year. So iske karan GBP has not been able to take benefit of those hikes. In fact, BOE hiked rates even before Fed. That was end of last year, and since then they have been hiking, but as I said, they have been far more cautious, and iske liye the pace of hikes or the speed of hikes has been far slower than what the US central bank has done. Now, आज अगर BOE hikes by 50 basis point, we can see a rally in the GBP, USD and GBP/INR. But for that rally to sustain and last, Bank of England needs to sound a little more hawkish. Otherwise, वो क्या होगा, एक spike करेगा, and then at night we can see again sell off from high levels. But 50 basis point hike can lead to a rally in GBP, USD and GBP/INR. So that's it, folks. This is Anindya Bannerjee signing off. A fantastic day ahead.